Hello everyone, hello, how are you? How is my MIGT community doing on this Thursday? I hope everyone is having a very beautiful and a positive Thursday. I am back on this channel, returning to give you guys yet another read. As you can already tell by the title, that this reading will again be pertaining to the royal family. It's ironic because I just had finished yesterday posting a video pertaining to King Charles and Camilla, pertaining to what might look like their relationship will be maybe ending, or they might be splitting. But yet again, there's another couple that has been in the storm of the eye, this time pertaining to Prince William and Kate. And so the overall question is, in fact, are they on a verge of a split or a separation? So as well, it's also interesting because I was kind of contemplating whether or not I would do a reading as well for them. And when I noticed earlier today that I had a subscriber that came in responding to the reading I did behind King Charles, and she suggested actually if I can do a reading behind Prince William and Katie. So being that I was kind of thinking about doing it, and with her suggesting it, I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and just do it. So the subscriber that actually wanted me to, or suggested this, her name was Lourdes. So Lourdes, I will in fact be doing this reading. All right. So guys, let's get into what is overall going on between Kate and Prince William. So I have my notes here. So whether or not they are on a verge of a split, that remains to be seen. Now, it's been said that Katie's absence at a major royal family event has sparked speculation that her relationship with Prince William has deteriorated. In addition to her absence at the religious ceremony at Westminster Abbey recently is raising alarms, in particular because it's very strange behavior for a member of the royal family to not attend such an important event as the one that was just had pertaining to this religious ceremony. So it's very strange that a member would miss out and not attend that function, especially when it was said that Kate had already confirmed her attendance. So what was really the reason behind her absence after her confirming her attendance behind this religious event? According to royal insiders, it's been speculated and rumored that it could be due to William's infidelity with Rose Hanbury, a British former model who was once very close to the couple and the royal family. These rumors have been circulating extensively, more so in the media for weeks. And according to some royals, experts, they are pointing out that this could be a sign, a red flag, that these rumors are taking their toll on Kate. There's even a rumor and speculation that the royal couple, due to them being in the eye of the storm or hurricane for the past year pertaining to this infidelity scandal, due to these scandals and with controversial photos that have been leaked, it's reported that Kate and William will be announcing their divorce on a scheduled date sometime in May, allegedly, because it looks like the situation between them isn't improving, and it is really a bit taking an overbearing toll on Kate's mentality. So the question here is, will in fact, is this a rumor? These speculations that have surfaced, is there any truth behind it? Is there a strong possibility that in fact that their marriage, unfortunately, will come to an end? Well, marriage is very, I just want to just say that for me personally, I like Will and Kate. I like their marriage, and they have their children, their family. And sometimes overall, we don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. But whenever there's a celebrity couple that is going through problems and issues, unlike regular people, when we have marital problems, it's just only perhaps known to those that are close to us, our friends and our family. But when we're speaking about a couple, big, the royals like Kate and William, unfortunately, if there's any issues pertaining to any, infidelity that is going on, the whole world knows. And that in itself can be very embarrassing, because it's not just your family and those that is close to you. You have literally, you have the whole world that is in on what is going on within your marriage. And like I said, that can be very embarrassing. So I really hope that at the end, despite what I have picked up and what the cost is showing me, I do hope that perhaps that would not be the case. But I must say that it's not looking good, all right? So with that being said, let us dive into further as to what really is going on, and will this rumor be something that will turn out to be true in the projected future, all right? So before I get started, what I did something actually a little different in terms of the spread of the reading. So instead of me diving directly into the tarot cards, I wanted to pull out an angel tarot card to just kind of see what will be, or what is currently the overall message or the energy that Kate is in. And then I went over to pull out another angel tarot card to see what William is feeling, what is his current energy surrounded by this. Then after that, I pulled out a love oracle just to kind of look a little bit more deeper into the energy behind that overall card to see what's going on. And then I will wind down with pulling out, or I have pulled out the tarot cards, which was kind of wrap everything up and just kind of bring home what might be the outcome of the situation. So first we are going to speak upon Kate, and then we will go over to Prince William. So Kate overall energy, the card that came out was the Chariot. Okay, now by the way, Kate's zodiac sign is Capricorn, which makes her an earth sign. So earth signs, particularly with Capricorn, they are very sensitive and they put a lot into their relationships. So with her being a Capricorn, we do have here, as I said, I pulled out an angel tarot card. And this is actually a major arcana. And this is her overall energy. What do the Chariot represent? It represents movement, right? She's on the go. She's moving. She's looking ahead and not necessarily looking back at this time. But it shows that she is actually in, now whether or not she has actually moved, because you say, well, what is she moving to? Or what is she moving away from? Well, I feel that at this time that she has moved out of their main residence, their main domain, or she have already left. And so now it's like where her and Prince William will be, or might be, living separately. Okay, so either she has moved out already, or she's very close to doing so. But I feel that this has already happened. Okay, now as well, upon taking that out, speaking upon the love oracles, the card that came out was separation. But also from the bottom, and I felt I wanted to just bring this out as well, because I felt that it kind of gives the reason of the separation. So we have separation, and then we have the snake. Separation is easy enough to understand that they have in fact separated. Now, whether this will be a permanent separation, that remains to be seen. But separation, when it comes to marriages, it doesn't have to be something that's permanent. It doesn't even have to mean a divorce just yet. It's just, you can say maybe a red flag or a signal by them separating that it may lead to a divorce. It may not. But it can also be that they have separated in terms of one of them leaving out of the home and living somewhere else until maybe to see if things will be reconciled, working on things to see if in fact one or the other, particularly the person that has been cheated on, if in fact they want to return back or give that their mate another chance. However you want to do it, but there's a separation. So I feel that they have in fact separated. I feel that she, on her part, that she has done so, leaving out of their main home. And then the snake here represents exactly what is going on. It says competition, an enemy, malicious, the other woman. And so this is exactly what this is about, because there is a third party, unfortunately. That third party pertaining to, as I mentioned in the beginning, Rose Hanbury, which used to be very close to the royals and even to the couple themselves. And I do believe that this took place since 2019, when this speculation and these rumors began to surface and when they were close. And at that time, I believe that when it came out that Kate did address and confront William about Rose Hanbury. And from what I understood, that he pretty much smirked and just kind of like laughed it off. Now, if you ask me, if you approach your spouse and you heard some rumors, or maybe you feel that there's something going on with him and a third party, another woman, and you approach him and he just laughs it off, that in itself, as the phrase goes, that in itself is suspect, right? So we have to kind of see, when we move over to Will, to see if in fact has he been malicious, because there's definitely a third party involved here, that other woman, and that will be Rose, right? And so this what has caused Kate to leave out of their home with the kids, and to see really, because as well with the separation at the bottom it says unsure of the future. So right now she is in a situation, in a moment where she's not too sure if this separation going to be temporary or if it's something that she would decide to kind of cut the cords and just, because like I said, she is mentally being burdened by these rumors, as typical of any wife, right? Any wife, regardless of what your status is, whether you're a celebrity or not. Anytime that a wife is faced with such an issue or, infidelity, she's going to feel very hurt by it, right? So she's not acting out of ordinary. Okay, so now that we got through those cards to kind of give you the general as to the action, because the Chariot as well is an action card, right? So the first tarot card that came out was the Four of Pentacles. So this is her energy coming out, because remember I said her zodiac sign is a Capricorn, making her an earth sign. So Pentacles deals with the earth element. So the Four of Pentacles generally is someone that is holding something back. They are withdrawing, right? So this is definitely her energy and spirit toward William. But also, I'm also picking up the opposite of this, because I don't do reversals. So upright, directly, the Four of Pentacles is someone that is withdrawn. They are withholding back, whatever that may be. It doesn't even have to be money. It could be anything that the person might be withholding and protecting. It could be something that perhaps maybe it could be information that they might be holding back on, or an action that they might have put a pause on. But now when we turn it around the other way, I feel that, again, this is Kate, that now she's no longer putting a pause on her decision in terms of how she really feels about the direction and the decision that she's going to make moving ahead pertaining to her relationship with William. Because again, remember, the overall energy is the Chariot. So where she might have paused and wasn't sure about the course of action, with that Chariot being there as a major arcana, it shows that now she has decided to take action, full force, to leave out of the home. And now she is still riding on that energy of taking action. Will she take action and decide to want to leave and divorce William? That remains to be seen, right? So that's what I got with the Four of Pentacles. Now, next to that, we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is intuition, right? But it's also, again, when making a decision, like I said, with the Four of Pentacles, her making a decision. At one time, I feel that she might have, maybe in the past couple of months, as these rumors have been circulating more and more, that she's been like deciding what she should do, right? And it's like what is her gut telling her? What is her intuition telling her as to how she should proceed and how she should deal with William in this whole scandal? And so I feel, again, because she's being influenced by that Chariot, that she has taken action to do what she has done, to leave the home. And I feel, unfortunately, that she may even decide to leave permanently and not give her marriage a second chance, right? For some women, it depends. You know, it depends on the situation as to what has caused the problem. If the root of the problem was anything other than infidelity, in some cases it's workable, right? It can be resolved. It can be worked on. You can forgive the person. But in other situations, for the majority of women, once your spouse crossed that line and cheat on you, step out of the marriage, step out of the marriage bed and do the unthinkable, that right there is enough to divorce and to not want to forgive the person, right? So it really depends on that woman. And the roles can be reversed as well. By all means, this could be flip where the masculine, where the feminine has cheated and stepped out. But particularly, we're speaking about Kate here. So this is her action. This is what she is feeling in her heart of hearts, what she feels, and whether or not is this something she can recover and heal from, right? Now, next to the High Priestess, we have the Queen of Swords. This is her energy as well. So the Queen of Swords generally does represent a divorced woman, a divorced feminine energy. But even though, if that turns out to be the case, it also speaks upon the strength and the decision that the Queen of Swords has made. Again, it's like, what didn't feel right? Going back to that High Priestess, if in her heart she says it doesn't feel right, this is something that I cannot recover from and heal from, no matter how bad, no matter how hurtful it was. And my decision, the Queen of Swords is an energy that once she makes a decision about something, she don't feel bad about it. She had to do what needed to be done, regardless of the aftermath of it. But it also exudes her strength, the wisdom, and that even though coming out of a tumultuous relationship or a marriage, she still is very strong, right? She's very strong as the queen. She's a queen in her own right, and she will overcome. She will heal, and she will look ahead to know that there will be something better. She is looking at her self-worth, because at the end, it's like, if I'm with somebody who can't appreciate me, who can't be faithful and loyal, well then, pack your bags, go to the left, and I will be okay. Me and my kids will be okay. So that is overall the energy of the Queen of Swords. But she's strong, and she will succeed. She will be okay, right? So that's the energy that I get, and that's what I feel that is the energy that Kate right now is in. From that, we go to the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, again, speaking upon what she is dealing with, what she has been dealing with for the maybe past couple of months, even more so. Five of Swords is, you see this image here of someone who's holding their head, because maybe she's, like I said, you're dealing with headaches, but the headaches is the mental mind. It's what you're taking on mentally, what's been really pressing on your mind, what you've been thinking about. So she's been thinking about this whole situation, the scandal, the infidelity. And I feel also that, this is something that William is still after. I think he is still very much seeing, allegedly, perhaps this third party. I really believe that it hasn't like completely faded away. He hasn't like put her to the side and say, this is wrong and I want to save my marriage. What I'm doing to Kate is wrong. I feel perhaps that unfortunately he still might be seeing her from time to time, okay? And as we go toward the end of the last card, toward what else is going on and what might be the outcome in the projected future, we end out in terms of the spread from the tarot pertaining to Kate. We have the Tower, and we all know the Tower here generally it's both, it can be positive and negative, but pertaining to this situation here, this is an ending, because Tower brings endings, sudden changes, unexpected changes, right? But generally it's something that is about to end. It's almost like it's imminent, okay? Particularly, like I said, pertaining to this scenario. This is what it represents. And because it is a major arcana, it just speaks about, again, something that is highlighted as a very dominant energy pertaining to her in terms of her, what she's thinking about the future. Because before, remember the love card separation, unsure about the future, I feel that at some point she might decide to overall just stay separated, and where they might get a divorce, right? Coming to that ending. And speaking of which, as we close out on her side, we wanted to just kind of get, I went to another deck to kind of just see what might be the overall outcome in terms of how all these energies was influenced by this Chariot. And we have here the Ace of Pentacles along with the Two of Pentacles. So again, this is her energies of being of earth element, because Pentacles pertains to the earth element. So with the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, for one thing, we know the aces of anything usually is the start of something. So usually when something ends with a towel, what happens? Something new begins, right? Or there's just like a fresh start, if you will. So with the Ace of Pentacles being here, that kind of perhaps is just bringing attention to the fact that there is a possible ending perhaps to her marriage with William. And then with the Two of Pentacles, I feel that this has been something that she has been deciding upon for the past couple of months. Although a part of me feels that she's been hoping and trying to like put it behind her and to maybe forgive. But then you have the other side that's weighing more on her, because you see the Pentacles is not balanced, right? It's like one Pentacle is weighing more than the other, right? And it's hard for her to kind of see some type of equilibrium at this time when making a decision about her marriage. And so with that being said, it's possible, because of the Ace of Pentacles, it's showing that it's possible that she might decide to end her marriage. We can hope for the best that, it doesn't, turn out that way. But again, ultimately, she is the one that will decide what she thinks she should do. Regardless of how much we may want them to be together and work things out. But again, she is the one that is unfortunately dealing with this situation where there's a third party. That is never a good feeling for any married woman, right? It's never a good feeling. And so really, like I said, it depends upon how she feels. If she wants to, if it's something that is just too much for her to bear and she can't forgive, then we have to then respect her decision if she do decide to end her marriage, okay? But like I said, we have to see how that play out. Now, so that takes care of that part with Kate. Now we're going to move over to William. Now, his overall message, or the overall card that came out for him, was the Three of Fire, which in the tarot, your regular tarot, it is the Three of Wands. So the Three of Fire here speaks upon vision, expansion. But it also speaks upon, when you're expanding, it's like looking, seeking other horizons, right? It's like venturing out. But how is his venturing out is being influenced and affected by the three of fire. So, before I continue, now William's zodiac sign is a Cancer. So that's a water sign. But it's also interesting that the water sign, he was born June 21st. So when we are speaking astrologically in terms of placements here, June 21st is also, as you would say, someone that would typically have a sign that falls on June 21st. It's also connected to Gemini, which would be an air sign. But I mention that because he is, you would say, even though he might be a Cancer, but he's on the cups, you can say, because that date, June 21st, is very much right coming out of that date. So that will put him on the cups as well of a Gemini, okay? And that means that he would be influenced more, perhaps, because he would have that slight placement of a Gemini. It means that a person will have some influence from that placement, being on that cup sign, if you understand, okay? I'm still still in the process of learning more to be more effective with knowing astrology. I know just the basics, but I'm still, like I said, teaching myself to get more deeper into it. But I think you guys understand. So, like, if you wanted to look up in Google, you would see that June 21st, which was the date that he was born, it puts him being a Cancer, but he would be like on the cups of Gemini. And personally, I feel that he is tapping in more or being influenced more by the Gemini influences or the traits. And the Gemini, like I said, is connected to the element of air, where the Cancer is connected to water. All right, so I think that was very interesting to kind of point that out, because like I said, as I picked up in his cards, I feel that his behavior and just his energy pertaining to what I picked up, it's more Gemini than Cancer. Okay, now Cancers, they are emotional, but for the Gemini, they crave intellectual conversations, they are witty, they want something fresh and thrilling, and can be impulsive. And when flirting, okay, and I mention this because you can say that with this third party, if something had to start from somewhere, and generally when there are third parties involved, what is the starting initiative behavior or action? Is flirting, right? So this is why I'm mentioning this. So when flirting, make sure that if there is effeminate flirting with the Gemini man, it said here that when flirting, make sure to let him know that you are interested, okay? So that's just a sidebar. And because this third party, Rose Hanbury, is involved because she is the third party, I just wanted to go ahead and just see what her zodiac sign is. She's a Pisces, making her a water sign, the same element as William, okay? And it is known that Cancer vibe well with their fellow signs, and that Pisces, her, Rose, the third party, being the fish, right? And with Will being Cancer, the crab, both of them have oceans of emotions. All right, so with all of that being said, we're going to now see how this is going to play out pertaining to this third party and with Kate. So, as I mentioned, he got the Three of Fire, which is like your Three of Wands, right? And as I mentioned, it's about spanning your horizons, right? Venturing out, if you will, spreading your wings, right? Now, when I picked up the Love Oracle and shuffled, the card that came out was sunglasses. And it says here, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Now, we can take this in two different directions. The watching part and the look, and the watching part, I feel this is him perhaps being cautious and being a little sneaky in terms of him perhaps stepping out to go see Rose, right? And then stalking is, I feel, this is him stalking, being behind, venturing out, speaking about expansion, expanding toward her, stalking her. There's a very strong sexual connection between them two, all right? Now, the other card that came out, just like with Kate, the other one was coffee cup. And this speaks about meeting, conversing, savoring the moment, friendship, feeling uplifted. So what does that mean? So in fact, this is just showing that he is still engaging in meetups with Rose, this third party, right? And that they may have moments where they meet somewhere, right? But at the same time, sunglasses, it's like he's trying to be very discreet about it as best possible. Now, when you are part of the royals, this discretion is, you can say, is an understatement. That is going to be very hard to do because you have security, you have other, influences going on. You have other people that is constantly scrutinizing your every moves. So trying to do certain things to keep it under wraps, that is not going to be, right? But then there comes a point that sometimes you just don't care. And I feel that it might be a part of him that just don't care anymore if he's seen. If they take pictures of him engaging with this third party, And it's unfortunate because at the same time, if this is all true, and this is again alleged, if this is true, then you could understand and see if there's any type of leakage of photos that is, taking photos of them being together, how that can make Kate feel, right? So that's what I got with those energies, right? Now, the first card that came out pertaining to him, the first card was the Two of Wands. So again, the Two of Wands is about expanding horizons. It kind of is like the Three of Wands. So the fact that you have two cards representing the wands, which represents generally, it symbolizes passion. So like I said, there is some strong, intense passion between William and Rose, the third party, okay? And when you look at the Two of Wands, it's like traveling. It's stepping out. It's also perhaps spending time with someone during a holiday. I don't know if the holidays time frames, I'm sure they would be a little bit different maybe in Britain than it is in the United States. But whatever maybe recent holiday that has happened, that has passed, or maybe is coming up, it just shows you that perhaps this is something, and I feel that this is like, it's past and it's present. So I feel that somehow, speaking about the action and the energy overall of the Three of Fire, it's like spending time with a romantic connection. It could also indicate that because he is very passionate being behind this third party, that he will at times go and see her, visit her, if that, you know what I mean? So that's why I think the Two of Wands is here. So with the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands, both of them represent traveling, expanding, if you will, right? So this is what he is currently doing as well. Now, we come here to the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles, for me, can just represent a few things. And I was trying to figure out how the Eight of Pentacles is being influenced by the Three of Fire. And I feel that it's, it can also deal with like the cycles of the moon, because if you look closely, we have the moon cycle here, right? So it just could just be that there are periods of time, interval periods of time, in which he will see her. Because this is not something that he has in the past been seeing her like steadily. This is like periods of time that he will see her, right? But now moving ahead, I feel that now, I just get the feeling that somehow he's going to be more free to see her more on a regular basis, if that makes sense, okay? I'm just intuitively trying to just understand the energy of the Eight of Pentacles, and it can take on many things. But again, as an intuitive, you have to kind of go with the flow of the reading and what hits you intuitively, and I always try to go with and trust my intuition. So I just feel, like I said, there were periods of time throughout the year that he was being kind of secretive, seeing this third party. And I feel that moving ahead, it's going to be something perhaps that he might do. Now, also, it's interestingly enough that she is married. Now, whether her marriage will show signs of a split, we don't know, because it's not really about her, but it's only because she is involved as the third party. But she is as well married. Now, we come over to the next card here. The Star, right? So if you will, this can be will, because remember I said I felt that he was being more influenced with his cup sign of Gemini, and Gemini is part of the air sign. So to me, in the Star is the Aquarius, but I feel that this is him feeling very flirty. He's happy. He's like just, you know, it's like he is just in that moment. He's in that phase right now that he is just wanting something fresh. And he's just being, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm just trying to, it kind of hurts me in a way, because it's like, you know, I have a soft spot. Like when it comes to marriages, I just, you know, like I said, I hate when marriages go through these type of things, you know, but it can happen. And it's unfortunate that, you know, sometimes you have a spouse that does this to the other person, right? Whether it's a masculine or a feminine. And, you know, inside, I'm feeling what he is actually perhaps doing. And I'm like deterred by his action. So that's why there's a pause there, right? But I'm going to just move over, because the next card, which is a major arcana, it's just going to pretty much just speak upon what I was trying to say. This is the Devil. So we know what the Devil, for you that you know knows about the Devil card here, it taps into the shadow side of oneself, taps into low vibrational behavior. So this is, in fact, William here, tapping into being a naughty boy, doing something that he knows is really not right. He's breaking Kate's heart, right? And yet and still, he is very much, the chemistry between him and Rose is very dynamic, because we do have the fire energies here. So it seems to be very intense with them. Whenever it is that he sees her, like I said, I don't see it. It has been something that has been like steadily ongoing, but there are periods of moments, periods maybe out of a month, or, you know, every now and then that he sees her, right, in between, that when they do come together, that is very passionate, that they are very much like the chemistry between them is very intense. And then as we wind down, we do have here another major arcana. This is him, the Lovers. The Lovers is Gemini. And remember I said he's on the cups of the Gemini. So this is here. The Lovers represents Gemini. So we have here two people that are pretty much look like, you know, they are intense with that passionate connection at that moment in time, right? So that's what we got there. And so as we close out and wind down, in terms of what might be the projected outcome, in terms of his side, of what it might look like for him, we have here the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles is that third party rose. This is her. Now, when I mentioned that she was married, or that she is married currently, because we don't know, how it is, how her relationship is with her husband, but I know that she is married to a man of high status. He is very, very prominent, with a very prominent title of high status, right? And so that makes her as well, being married to him, it gives her this high status type of energy or status. But the high priestess can also just represent, on the flip side, it can be someone who's malicious, just like was pointed out from before, someone who's malicious, someone who can be overbearing, ambition, not really thinking about what the aftermath will be, So if she as well has stepped out of her marriage and stepped out of her marriage bed from her husband to go toward William, then in fact she as well is someone that is exuding maliciousness, dipping into her low vibrational shadow side. Because now, as we see here, the Knight of Cups, now this is William showing up, being a part of that water sign. This is him making his move toward her. Slowly but surely, it's projected, perhaps, overall the outcome is that he will, perhaps, slowly but surely, make his way to her. Okay? So, yet, like I said, all this remains to be seen. This is all alleged. However, with the cards here and with my intuition, it's a very strong possibility that this marriage may end in a permanent separation. So, like I said, if any of this comes to be in the future and it turns out to be the case, I will come back and do an update to speak upon that. But everyone, this is what I got. By all means, drop your opinions and your thoughts about what you think about this reading behind Kate and William. What do you think? Do you agree with me, or do you have any other thoughts about what might be the outcome of this? Let me know. And if you are a viewer and not a subscriber, please subscribe to this channel. And if you did like this reading, and if you just overall like my channel, always send some electricity to that thumb to give me a thumbs like. And until the next one, everyone, I'm wishing you a rest of a Thursday evening. Peace, love, and light. Bye.